Alright everyone, and we are back.
眉が帰るまでの数分、そこでかかしになるがいい。あれも見届ける者が俺だけでは寂しかろう。この行く末を最後まで見届けるというのなら、その生にも意味がある。
I can't listen to him. Our goal is to stop the Holy Grail. If we can still make it, we have to get Shinji back.
そうかよ。悪いがこっちは。
あんたの言いなりになんてならない。今すぐあの日会に行ってあんたの聖杯を止めてやるわ。
Then, Tosaka glares at Gilgamesh from behind me.
ほう
He grins. He smiles like that when he decides to kill the one in front of him.
待て、トサカ、それは。
シローはここであいつを止めて。無茶だって分かってるけど、セイバーが来るまでなんとか持ちこたえて。シンジは私が責任を持って引っ張り出してくるから。
引っ張り出してくるって、お前。
分かってるわよ。あんなんでもさくらの兄貴だし、見殺しにはできないもの。それ。
Tosaka runs to the Black Lake. Is she gonna go into that mud?
なんだその滑稽さは。俺を笑い死にさせるつもりか、貴様ら。
He laughs as if to look down at Tosaka's determination.
てめえ、何がおかしい。
なんだ、お前はおかしくないのか、雑種。とんだ三流どもだ。あの呪いの中を進むだと。サーバントですら耐えられぬ呪いの渦を人間風情が踏破できるとでも思ったか。
私の底を甘く見ないで。この程度の呪いで染まるほど弱くないわ。それにね、私たちはあんたみたいに反霊体ってわけじゃない。ちゃんと生身のある人間なんだから、むざむざ飲み込まれてたまるもんか。
It's an obvious bluff, but I'm sure that Tosaka will make it across. As she says, Tosaka-rin isn't so weak so as to lose to that curse.
そうか。ならば好きにしろ。もっとも、俺はそんな真似は許さんがな。
トレース。
A sword shoots forward. The sword flies through the air to pierce Tosaka's defenseless back.
オフ。
And it is slashed down by Kancho. I breathed hard. I made it. Even though I was prepared, this is the fastest projection I've ever done. It's probably thanks to Tosaka's magical energy. With this, I might be able to.
貴様。
Murderous rage fills his red eyes. The projection made him serious. The noble phantasm behind his back increased in number.
シロー。
I hear Tosaka's worried voice. I don't turn around but stare at my enemy with Kancho in hand.
トサカ、シンジを頼む。
That's all I say.
任せて。すぐに連れ帰ってくる。
Tosaka goes into that mud without any hesitation. Then I'll protect her. I won't allow a single noble phantasm to get past me.
お前の相手は俺だ。トサカに手を出したかったら、まず俺を倒しやがれ。
I take a step forward. That must have gone on his nerves. The golden servant takes his eyes off Tosaka and looks at me.
あの小娘はのたれ死ぬ。俺が手を下すのはあくまで慈悲だったのだが。
The noble phantasms point at me. He lets out a sharp murderous intent.
その前に貴様には思い知らせる必要があるようだ。薄汚い贋作者。その身をもって真偽の違いを知るがいい。
He releases his treasures unsparingly. The longsword slashes through the darkness. Saber is yet to be able to close in on her enemy that freely swings his longsword. Unable to dodge, she retreats. The distance between the two does not shrink. There is 1 meter between Saber and Assassin, but Saber is unable to climb the few steps. She bites her lip. She cannot waste any time. She surpasses him in power. She can overpower him if she uses her magical energy and her sword as a shield. Just one blow. She can overpower him if she can withstand just one blow. It can be her arm or leg. If she does not allow the wound to slow her, there will be no second attack. She can chilly slash Assassin after she receives his blow. But, if the attack is to come for her neck, she cannot overpower him. All of this servant's attacks are of that kind. All are meant to take her life. Retreat is the only defense against them. She cannot move forward because of the enemy's technique, and the geographical disadvantage does not allow her to move to either side. She cannot move forward because of those reasons. She must reach the temple alive. The two are fighting Gilgamesh even at this moment. They might die if she is late. No, in the worst case, they are already. Well, if they were dead, then you would disappear too. She runs. She rushes upward, yelling as if to deny the ominous thought. The two weapons collide. For some reason, Assassin swings his sword not at the charging saber, but at the swinging sword.
ほう、さすがはセイバーの剣。数回程度ならば耐えられると思ったが、一撃で曲がるとは。
Sparks fly off. The swords try to push each other away.
受けた。アサシンが私の剣を。
Assassin's sword is fragile. It is a good sword that can even cut steel, but it is made by a human. It cannot even be compared to her sword that is not made by men. His long sword would be pulverized if he used his power to strike back at the oncoming attack. That is why Assassin has parried the attacks and pushed back Saber by attacking her body instead of her sword until now. But Assassin blocked this attack. Assassin's sword cannot block Saber's attack no matter how strong he is. The longsword that blocks Saber's attack is bent. There's no way it's sharp as it was before.
勝てる。無傷でこの男に勝てるのか。
Saber asks herself why she pushes back Assassin's long sword. The question becomes an opening. There's a reason why Assassin blocked her sword. She is standing in that position before she realizes it. The positions are different. They are now standing on the same level. Before she realizes it, Saber has been forced to fight sideways. It is just like before. They are standing on the same plane. This is the position he needs to execute his secret technique. Assassin is able to execute his demonic attack here. Tsubame Gaeshi. 3 arching blades close in on that enemy from all sides, allowing no chance for defense or evasion. A chill runs up her back.
アサシン、貴様。
Saber stops pushing. She can push him back. She can push Assassin back with her strength and follow up with a finishing blow or run up to the mountain gate. But it will be the same either way. That attack will come the instant she pushes him away. It will end once he executes the technique. It does not matter if she runs up to him or if she turns her back and runs up the mountain. So she cannot push him. She can only loosen up and match Assassin's push.
良いのか、力を弱めて。これならば私の方からお前を弾き飛ばせるが。
Assassin stares at Saber in satisfaction. There is no inhumane emotion there. The swordsman is just fascinated by her eyes, trying to find some way out of this hopeless situation.
このために自らの武器を傷つけたのか、アサシン。
無論、拉致が開かぬのでな、勝負をつけに来た。これならば以前のお前に戻ろうと思ってな。果たし合いの最中に後のことなど考えるな。
She gasps. Assassin's words are not to insult her, but... The compound is burning. Sounds of swords clashing and breaking. It is the sound of battle between Gilgamesh and Emiyashiro.
どうやら縁も竹縄というところだな。こんなところで門前払いを受けている場合ではないぞ、セイバー。
アサシン。
She puts power into her arms. She puts magical energy into her sword to push her enemy back. But she cannot do it. She will die when she does so. She will fall into Assassin's trap once she gets away from him. She grits her teeth in frustration. She puts magical energy into her sword without a plan. Then...
何を迷う？お互いやるべきことは一つだろ
The swordsman's voice is clear.
アサシン。
う。もとより我らは役割を果たすためだけに呼び出された。私がこの門を守るように、お前にも守るものがある。ならば迷う隙などあるまい。それにな、セイバー。時間がないのはお前に限った話ではない。
There's no lie in those words. Those are the first and last true words for the swordsman that fulfilled his role as a fictional character. That he would like for both of them to go all out on each other. The swordsman in front of her is telling her his only wish, his only compensation for being summoned in this world.
失礼をした。確かにお互い時間はない。
She releases the magical energy in her sword. The merciless force pushes Assassin back. He slides back about 2 meters. Saber does not move, even though she is within Assassin's best range. She does not run up the mountain gate, nor does she charge at Assassin. She releases the seal. Showing her sword, Saber confronts Assassin. There is no hesitation in her eyes. She will use all her powers if need be. Her eyes state that she will use all her strength to defeat the enemy in front of her. There's nothing to talk about now. The fictional swordsman readies his sword.
いざ。
He greets his greatest enemy with his strongest technique. She struggles through the sea of tainted meat. The lake isn't even a meter deep. Chunks of flesh carpet the bottom, so she only sinks up to her knees.
この気持ち悪いにも程があるってのよ。もう
She grumbles as she breathes hard. Every step brings a chill as if she's treading on piles of insects. If she stops moving, the tint on her skin begins to solidify and consume her.
ああ、もうこんちくしょう。
She shakes it off with all her might and keeps going. It's almost impossible to keep wading through the rottenness while still keeping her sanity. After this, even slaughtering a cow shouldn't be a big deal. Tosaka Rin thinks so defiantly. So she's getting used to this work now. She is so tense that she'll stop moving once she stops treating this as work, but at least there's no mental damage this way. But she cannot endure it with just willpower. Her temperature rises with each step. The meat on her legs attacks her nerves instantly. Even if she flings it off, the poison has already entered her system. Curse. The malice is almost tangible and it feels like a disease. One will get sick when touched by it. It taints the nerve, takes away energy, boils the brain, and kills within 1 step. A normal person would stop moving after 2 steps and would fall into the sea of decay. She does not know what would happen after that. She doesn't even want to consider whether she would be suffocated or absorbed into the poisoned flesh. Her mind is too overcome with heat to even think about it. She braces herself, staggering feet, and keeps moving forward. Rin did not enter the pool of mud without a plan. She swallowed 2 jewels and is using all of the magical energy she saved up to defend herself. If this curse is a crystallization of pure magical energy, she should be able to repel it with strong magical energy of her own.
まずい。
Her vision wavers. Her guess was right, but her scale was off. The swallowed jewels are as good as paper shield against the curse. This is not something a human can fight against. No human can ward off this curse. In here, one's belief in oneself is the only support of their life.
もうこれなら火の上に飛び込んだ方が涼しいのに。
With her jewel's protection, jumping into the sea of fire would be no problem. And as soon as she complains... She gets angry at herself and sets her mind straight. It's not true. She cannot be complaining. She concentrates on the sounds behind her. She cannot see the two anymore. She doesn't know if Shiro moved the battleground away or if he's just cornered. Either way, it seems the fight has gone to the compound.
あと少し一気に行くからそれまで
She runs. It's only as fast as walking, but she frantically moves her feet. She pushes her way through the tainted meat. Her breathing ragged, she reaches out. She climbs up. She can feel the mountain of meat.
なんかこっちのが楽みたい
She lays on the pulsing ground. Oh no. This feels even nastier, but the meat violating her nerves goes away.
ちょっとこれもしかして
She puts her finger on the red ground. It is the same as the black mud, but it has form. It is something that should not exist in this world. Something that came out of the Holy Grail and took form using magical energy.
サーバントこれサーバントと同じなんだ
She murmurs in blank amazement. She tries to think what this could mean, but then stops herself. This isn't the time. There's only one thing she must do right now.
よし回復したさっさとシンジを見つけてこんなところとはおさらばよ
She gets up and runs along the top of the mountain of meat. It is an island about 50 meters wide. She could not tell before, but this lumpy meat is intertwined.
いた
Within it all, Mato Shinji is there hidden amongst the flesh. I repel the oncoming swords. There are over 10 noble phantasms and every one of them has been released to destroy me. I throw away the destroyed sword and prepare for the next attack. I catch my breath in an instant. I can't project with ragged breath and I'll just be skewered if I don't have a weapon. This battle is not a battle against him. This is a battle against my body. I will die once the speed and precision of my projection go down.
はっそうら休んでいる暇はないぞ
In response to his voice, a straight sword points at me. The loaded noble phantasm is released at fatal speed.
トレス
Unable to deflect the full impact, I fall to the ground. I quickly roll to the side and get up, steadying myself.
どうした質が落ちているぞわずか一撃で壊れるようでは複製とは言えんな
He laughs. He's obviously enjoying this. There's no way for me to defend myself if he releases all of the noble phantasms behind him. But he releases them one by one as if to test how much I can take. But that's what's keeping me alive right now. It's too hard to project a weapon after seeing it, even with Tosaka's backup. I can only imitate the shape. I can't construct the ability inside of it so it gets destroyed with one blow.
やろうこんなんでどうやって
He said I'm the only one who can beat him. But this is all I can do. I can't rush at him after I block his attack. 2, I at least need 2 weapons. But I'm having trouble projecting 1, so it's impossible for me to project 2 at once.
どうした歯ごたえがあるのは口先だけかフェイカー
He must have liked seeing me roll around as he looks delighted. I catch my breath. It's fine as long as he's enjoying this. There's still a chance for me to win.
トレス
I look within myself. A limited circuit. I mentally lay out as many blueprints as I can. I can see 17 noble phantasms behind him. I read the structure from its appearance, draw out the concept of creation, select the composition material. I vomit blood. It's because I'm putting multiple blueprints inside a circuit that usually handles 1 or 2. My nerves are bruised since I started projection, and my body is being destroyed from within. My throat tries to pump out the blood that's filling my stomach.
憑依経験共感終了
swallow it and continue with the process. Kancho and Bakuyo cannot block these noble phantasms. Archer should be able to with his technique, but I don't have that much skill. There's only one way for me to block the noble phantasms. I need to offset them with the same exact ones. I still have enough magical energy. There's enough supply from Tosaka. But the circuit to channel it is about to break. You know, it makes me wonder if he's using 2 of his circuits. Didn't he unlock all the other circuits over here? I think he'll figure that out later once he unleashes Unlimited Blade Works. The end is near. When he gets serious, I have to project the same number of noble phantasms as him to stay alive. But my body will die if I project that many.
工程完了。戦闘へ待機。
I save the overflowing images. The overflowing swords are ones that will pierce me from within. Image sure will be pierced from within if the circuit cannot be controlled.
ほう、今度は多いな。10、15、17。そうか。目に見える我の宝具をすべて複製したわけか。なめるな。魔術師の手の内など看破できなくて何が英霊か。お前。
His words are unexpected. The king of heroes that possess thousands of noble phantasms can figure out my magic just by looking at me?
では採点だ。もっともいかに成功であろうと一本たりとも世には残さんが。
My reaction is delayed. His words caught my attention, creating a hopeless delay. The 17 noble phantasms are released. King's treasures, a fraction of them charged in as if to tell me playtime is over.
停止回答。戦闘へ連続走者。
My body wavers. The sword shooting forward and the swords created from within me crash and shake the surroundings. I can't block all of them. Even if I project 17 noble phantasms, I can only give form to them one at a time. Even if I can form them in succession, I'm no match for him as he can release all of them at once.
ガラス細工にしてはよく持つが、それもあと数撃か。そうだ、急いで真似ねば八つ咲きだぞ。
I hear him laughing behind the swords. 12 more enemy noble phantasms.
しかしほとほと愚行よな。俺には勝ち得ないと考え、聖杯だけでも取り外す判断は正しい。お前では我にはかなうべきもない。
My fingertips are burning. The magical energy I emit and the heat from the crashing noble phantasms burn my fingertips mercilessly. 7 more noble phantasms.
それならばあの男を殺してしまえばよかろう。聖杯を止めたいのであれば神事を始末することこそが確実だ。魔術師であるお前たちならばあの泥を越えずとも殺しようはあったろう。だというのにまだ救おうというその偽善、まさに雑種の具現よな。
It's burning out. My circuit is completely burning off. I don't have enough. I can't match this man with this small circuit. Damn, why? Why can't I block them? He said I can beat him. So why am I not even a match? Does that mean I'm making a mistake? Three more noble phantasms. Will my body last until I block them? No, I should be thinking about the difference between my projection and Archer's. All senses freeze at that instant. I don't even pay heed to the 3 approaching blades. The golden servant is taking out a sword. A strange sword. My mind burns up the instant I see it.
女を救うと言ったな、小僧。
He laughs while the sword roars. I eliminate the 3 remaining blueprints in my circuit and concentrate on reading his sword. But...
読め
I was able to read every sword, but I can't even read that sword structure.
ならば見せてみろ。その贋作で一体何が救えるのかを。
A storm of chaos. The wind emitted from his sword even blows away his own noble phantasms as it comes at me. My mind is still blank. I can't come up with any countermeasures, so I just release the remaining magical energy within me. And the swordsman readies his sword. The only stance for the man who does not have a stance. A fatal technique that cuts his enemy by simultaneously executing blows from different angles. She has experienced the move before. The previous one only had an arc to surround his enemy and a vertical slash. That's why she was able to avoid it and live up to this day. But the real technique has 3 slashes. A circular slash and a vertical slash. And probably a horizontal slash that cuts anyone that escapes sideways. There's nowhere to run if the 3 attacks are executed all at once. Once in range, the other 2 attacks will cut you even if one is blocked. One cannot escape sideways and the longsword will reach out even if one retreats. Demonic technique Tsubame Gaeshi. A godly technique that even surpasses the servants. The ultimate attack perfected by an anonymous swordsman using all his life. The longsword trembles. His body moves in with 1 step. The distance to attack Saber. Prison-like arcs are executed from a range that does not allow any defense. Saber does not use her holy sword. She cannot use her noble phantasm at this range. No matter how fast Saber may be, Assassin Tsubame Gaeshi is many times faster. Her neck will be cut the instant she puts magical energy into her sword. Therefore, her only weapon is pure technique. The blade begins its arcs. She feels despair from its precision and speed. Such an attack. How much training was needed to get this far? Fear is the only thing on her mind. It cannot be blocked. This technique is a technique of carnage that challenges God with mere human skill. Only God would be able to block it. She gulps. There is a flash as small as a grain of sand. She does not think about what it is nor if it is correct. She risks everything she has on her instinct. She charges at her victory with all her might. What did the fictional swordsman think of that? Silver armor passes through the gap beside his arm, the opening between the swordsman's left arm and his waist. Saber must have figured out that small opening is the blind spot of that technique. Even though the attack still chips off her armor, Saber curls up and flies to the opening. An exquisite skill that is only possible with her precognition, her great instinct. She was able to predict the true Tsubame Gaeshi since she experienced it once. But that is not the surprising part. It is her determination that kept her alive. She trusted her insight and put all her power into the slight opening. She shook off the fear that she would be slashed if she was even a moment late and charged into the small opening. Therefore, her determination is the strength that defeated the demonic technique. But the match isn't over yet. Even though Tsubame Gaeshi was avoided, her enemy is right beside her, and she charged in with speed quicker than the attack. It is not easy to recover her stance from such a charge. The longsword strikes. The attack is the quickest, even if it may not be as quick as the demonic technique. But her attack is a bit quicker than his. He closes his mouth. He shuts his lip tight and tenses up so that he will not fall down. Blood from his lungs fills his mouth, but he swallows it so that it will not spill out. The golden-haired girl is below him. The way of the swordsman does not allow him to dirty her with his blood. Saber does not say anything.